Hi everyone, it's Eddie here at Eddie Makes Art, and today I'm trying to do something with these prints. Now, these are all on either tissue, except for this one. This is the only one that's on like plain brown paper packaging. But they're mainly on carnival wet strength tissue or rice paper. So you may have seen some of these in previous videos. They've been sitting around collecting dust, and they need a little bit more to finish them. So, and then some of them are just like, they're like cleanup sheets, cleanup prints. And, you know, maybe I thought maybe we could liven them up and make them into more of a proper print, I guess you could say. But so I'm going to pause for a second and I'm going to get my equipment. So today I'll be using mainly stencils. That's pretty much what I'm going to work with today. I've pulled a couple of new designs by some fellow designers over at Paperclips Studio, and then one of my designs. And you know, I can get more if we need to change it up or something. But so basically, I'm looking to add a little something extra to these to make them more better. I guess that's the best way to put it. So let me pause the video. I'm going to set up and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm going to start with the very first one that was on the pile. I'm using my largest plate, my 12 by 14, because I have different size sheets of prints here, or papers, whatever, and so that gives me, you know, options that way. And also I can, because I'm not using the entire plate, I can use part of it as a mixing palette if I want to mix up different colors, which we may do. I really enjoy mixing colors, so maybe I'll work on some of that as well as we go through this. So for this first one, got some bare spots here, but I'm not worried about that. I just want to get a design on it, something a little more, something contrasting to that. Let's go ahead and use my stencil here. This one is Hookups. This is a brand new one for me, available in the Paperclips Studio shop. This is the 9 by 12. I believe it comes in an 8 by 10 and and the 9 by 12. So I'm gonna put some paint down through here and then pick it up with the print. And then I'm gonna use one of these encyclopedia pages to pick up stuff along the edges too. I mean, I don't need to fill this entire thing up because this is a much smaller sheet of paper. So I can kind of see, all right, I can leave an inch off the top and the bottom. There we go. Now, what can we contrast with this? Something that's gonna brighten that up a little bit more. I think I'm just gonna go for white. Sometimes that is just easiest and will definitely give you contrast. Now, for this stencil, I'm going to use my smaller brayer, just because I need to get into these small areas, and this one tends to work better for that, for some reason. Go this way, let's fill that in. Down the center. That should give us a nice design on top. Oops. Take it easy, Eddie. Take it easy, man. There we go. See? That's all it needed. I missed the top a little bit, but maybe I can come in here and add some of this behind. Yeah, not bad. See? That's awesome now. I'm going to pick it up with this the encyclopedia paper. So I don't keep ripping it. Must be dry outside. It's paint is drying quickly today, at least on the plate. I haven't warmed it up either, but no worries. Let's go ahead and put this back down, and maybe we can use it for the next one. Let's see. Let's do this. This is a nice contrast. It's a matte finish paint. Let's give that a go. This is called Dutch Aqua from Folk Art in matte. And again, this is pretty much an 8x10 sheet of tissue, so I shouldn't need too much out here. And this, yeah, things are drying quickly today. Let's see here. Also, I didn't use a ton of paint. I don't think I need a ton of paint. Just like one little layer. Pick up. It's dry, huh? That edge dried quickly. There you go. I like that. A little something, something, but it's a nice contrast. I saw this one when I was flipping through for you earlier, and this one could use some avocados, and I just happen to have avocados. Yes, my friend Becky designed this new stencil, and this one is called Avocados. See if this is the right size. Yeah, perfect. So this is the 9x12 in the avocado. I'm not gonna worry about that. And so let's put some paint down and get some color on that print. And right away, I want to do brown. But wait, before I just grab the brown, I forget I have. There we go. I have this espresso, rich espresso, dazzling metallic deco art. Let's give that a good shake. Now, this comes, I believe, in the three sizes, 5x7, 8x10, 9x12, but each size is set up differently, so it doesn't have the exact same design setup that you see here. So, you know, when you go to the website, you'll be able to see each one up close. judge, make sure I get enough paint in these openings. There we go. It's a thin paint, so it separates a little bit when it hits the plate, but that's okay. Let's get this up. Be gentle, especially when you have a brand new stencil down, a brand new Yupo stencil. The Yupo loves to grab onto the plates, which is great. However, if you pull too hard, you can rip your stencil. So you don't want to do that. All right, so let's take a gander here. Oh yeah, good choice. Love it. It covered the entire print and it just brought it to life. I love it. Love that. All right, let's clean up these avocados here. There's still paint on that stencil, so let's see. Fantastic. Nice. Let me retire that one for now. So now this is what's considered a flop off. You take some paper. This may not be strong enough, but I'm going to give it a go. And then you just clean your stencil on it with the extra paint. And you got yourself another print. Aren't you glad you tuned in today? You're getting some good tips. Get all that goodness up off the stencil. And a fair warning though, don't leave the paper down too long, because with the brand new Yupo stencil, paint to plain paper with the brand new stencil can cause it to stick, the paper to stick to the stencil. If I just put it down and left it to dry, it would not come off. It would just be stuck and you'd have to soak it. It wouldn't ruin the stencil, but you'd lose your paper and, you know, all that. So just be aware of that. Coming up now. Little, not much, but that's cool. These are great papers to play with for later. Let's do some avocados on this one. And what color? Should we go with red? I like a nice contrast. Let's see. Army reds. Alizarin crimson. Mauve, that's too dark, I think, I'm not sure though. This terracotta. Terracotta might go nicely with that. But, oh, you know what I have that might go quite well as I drop paints. There we go, saved it. My crimson here, this is crimson from the Newton Galleria acrylic paint collection. And I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. I'll show you why in a second. So I'm going to lay the paint down first on the plate. Get some of this up here so I have it handy. Now I'll use my big boy here. Get this out. I love that red. Then put our stencil down. Now I like to keep one side as paint free as possible, so I'm going to put the painted side down. And then you're going to come in, put down your print and pull the paint. And just gently rub the paper into the design to pull that paint onto the print. And you can see in a lot of parts is when I do get in there and the paint is picked up, you can tell a difference. The paper gets a little bit darker. You may not see that in the center due to the layers of paint and spray that's on here. So let me do a little investigating and see where we're at. Let me get some of these smaller ones. All right, here we go. Beautiful. That was a good color choice. I love that. Let's clean you up. Okay. So then I can pick up the stencil. I've got this beautiful stuff here, and I'm just gonna get some paper here, my rice paper. This is I have my Yasutomo sketch paper. Here we are, and I put the smooth side down. Here as well. And there's still paint on the stencil. What are we gonna do about that? Well, let's see here. What if we go to this? Let's do that. Or before I do that, there might be another one that would be more better. Let's see real quick. Here, let's do this one. Some paper here to pick up the rest. Whoops, daisy. Okay, let's get this here. Now the wet strength tissue won't necessarily stick, so it's always a good thing to have on hand. See, and I love this because it pulled off some of that espresso paint too. So we got this really cool, interesting thing going on here. And I love how it filled in those blank spots. Those blank spots are there because this was a print I did in a video where I showed how to use baby powder and cornstarch as a resist on the gel plate. Those were fun. My piles are getting big. Okay, here we go. So good. So far, so good. Let's take care that this is good to go. If I feel any hesitation between the plate and the paper, I'm going to put it back down and I'll let that dry completely. But so far, it looks like we're doing okay. Whoa, that's red. But look how good that looks. That's so cool. Very, very textural. Awesome. What's next? So this is the next one on the pile. Do we want the red for this, or do we want the black? Yes. I'm gonna do black. One day I'll have a beautiful studio set up with easy access to my paints and all the goodies. But for now, I got to manage with what I've got. All right, so I'm not going to fill up this entire area because this is only an 8x10 print on that plate. Beautiful. Okay. I love when the brayer does that. It leaves the design behind. Oh, and that was Mars Black that I just put down. I got black. Look at it everywhere. Okay. I always think of Darcy from Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media when I'm getting painty hands and, you know, my hands are covered in stuff because she's such a pro at it that she gets down and dirty in that paint and ink and she just doesn't bat an eye, just keeps going. That is cool. That's cool. I like that. All right, let's do some cleanup over here. This. That is perfect for that. That wonderful print. That'll be great for something. You know what? I'm gonna put it on here. I don't remember where I got this. I want to say I got this in a swap, but I cannot say for sure. But I'm going to put it down over this. That should be cool with those bright colors peeking through the design, the avocados. How cool is that? Yeah, love it. Psychedelic vibes coming through 100%. Love that. All right. Still got black paint on here. Cleanup, and then I'll be right back. All right, here's another print, one of those from the last batch, and my first thought was black for this one. I'm not sure now. Take a look. There's, maybe I can make something that's like that, almost. Maybe a little darker. Oh, I know what. I have some of this metallic and teal. It up, maybe with some of this matte finish paint here, and let's see what we get. Now, one's definitely heavier than the other, but I like where it's going. I think it needs a little greening up. Not that. This is a washout mix of this green gold, but it's got other stuff in it. So, let's see, it's got airbrush medium and some other green paint. I think it was like a green distress paint. No, is that too green? I think that's a pretty good match. We're gonna go with that. And I'm gonna use my hooks. Let's go this way, so that we don't mess this up over here. And put this paint down. Hopefully this is enough. That shouldn't be too bad. Just need to encourage some of it down here. Okay. So, this should be a nice touch. cleanup work here. So far this is going well. I am enjoying the choices I've made. But when it comes down to it, remember, this is just paper and paint. And you can do it all over again. This is rice paper, so I'm going to carefully pull it away. Wow, that was a good match. And it's a little bit lighter like I wanted. That's a good match. So again, that was... Now, I'll tell you which green I used in that mix. It was this green, the Twisted Citron. So it's like a little, kind of like a lime-ish, a bright lime green, or like a neon green. I had this teal in the metallic and the Dutch aqua. That's how I got those three. Oh, that color with those three. Put this down. With this bad boy. Let's see what we can get off of here. A little bit, a little something, something. This one's fun, but it needs something. Now, I have a stencil that would go great with that pattern there. I do. It's by my colleague and friend, Rhonda Dona. Her new stencil, Paperclips. Isn't that fun? Paperclips. And this is the 9x12, and it comes in three, I believe it comes in the three sizes, the 5x7, 8x10. And again, each size is set up a little bit differently to maximize for the space, but to also maximize for the design. So when you go on the website, take a look at the individual, options for the sizes, and you'll see the differences. So there are options. All right, let's get some of this on here, but I just want to do a little bit because I think maybe we'll just do that half. I should have put the stencil down first, but que sera, que sera. Stencil down and pull through the design. And I like the rice paper too for doing this because it's nice and thin like the tissue. And some people either have trouble with the rice paper ripping on the gel plate. It's a matter of not leaving it down very long. But also, once it's got a layer of paint on it, it won't stick. You'll have less chances of it sticking. And that goes with any paper, really, any surface you use on the gel plate. Ooh, that's interesting, huh? Yeah, picture it without the borders, right? That's a little something there. Okay. Let me see if I can get anything through here. This. Here we go. beautiful print. I love that on the book page. So cool. So cool. All right. We still have paint on here. But that's, yeah, that's pretty dry. What's next for us? What does this one need? This one needs, I'm gonna throw, should we do a white? Yeah. What? It's gonna be orange. It's gonna be orange. And that was orange yellow from Hippie Crafter Paints. These are going to be fun papers to play with later. Maybe we can do another video of adding pattern to this, to these, some of these more solid ones I'm doing. Orange paper clips coming up. Oh goodness, this tissue covers all the areas too. Very nice. Gotta make sure we're concentrating here because the paint is pretty opaque, so it's hard to see. So I'll make sure we get up all that goodness in there. Ooh, good choice. Look at that, look at that. I'm loving that. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, there's still some on here. Let's see if I can grab any with this. This paper's saturated, but I think we can get a little bit more. I can get a little bit. That's dried, whatever's in those orifices. Okay, just hang. No, put the purple down. Why not? Why not? Okay. That'll be a fun one. Do a little better at getting up these edges. I like that. Actually kind of cool. It's a cool effect too, because you get, it's pulling up some of the purple clip residue that was left. Nice. Now, how about this one? This is bright on its own, but it needs something going on over it. And I want to do the paper clips, but what color should we do? Prussian. I said it, I'm doing it, Prussian. come on. A little Prussian, a little Prussian. There we go. Fix that corner there. Okay. Again, you can see already where you're picking up that paint. Because remember, this is tissue, so it's going to show up a lot better than if it were paper. So we can see what we're picking up. Yes, that did it. Look at that. That is a wiener chicken diener. Some paper clips with this. This should be fun. Yep. Very nice. All right. Now we're going to pick this up. Now, do I have a print? I'm just going to pick this up with some encyclopedia paper because the other prints are much darker than this blue. Or as dark, rather, and this blue would just obliterate whatever was on that paper. And this will be a nice print because it's picking up that orange too, which goes really well with the Prussian. Wunderbar prints, wunderbar. So what do I have on here? Not a lot of paint left on there. Okay, now we have this print here, has some touches of gold. Let's pump up that gold, but for this print I'm going to use my avocado here. And I'm going to get some gold paint on here. That's what I'm going to do. Liquitex, this is soft body iridescent bright gold. There, we got the thing out. We got whatever it was out. Feel it. There's a little grainy bit here that I don't want in the paint or on the gel plate. There we go. All right, let me get that out of here. Hi, Max. Kitty Max wants some treats. I'd show you Kitty Max, but she doesn't like to be picked up very much. She's the mama and a little bit older. And, oops. And she has, you know, she has her ways, and she doesn't like to get picked up really. She's a good cuddler, though. All right, come on, paint. Even Stevens. get in there. All right, so that's there. And let's get that covered. Here we go. That is beautiful. Love it. Love it. I'm gonna add the gold to this one. Why the flip knot? Ooh, shiny goodness. All right, so let's get you up there. All right, where do we go next? So I'm gonna do one more, just because I don't want to make these videos too long for you. How about this one? This is the one where it was a cleanup sheet. I was doing botanical prints, and this was the sheet to clean up in between. So let's see. Let's do this other one here that I got recently. This one is a craft paint. Also, it's a matte finish orange, pure orange is what it's called. Put this down. Nice. This is great. That is wonderful. And for the rest, let's just pick it up with this here. Okay, that's good. And then so I am just going to finish this little bit up. I'm going to clean off my desk a little bit and come back and flip through what we've done today. All right, so let's look at the clean off sheets first. These encyclopedia pages that I cleaned off the stencils on and my brayer on. This one I love. Work in progress. This one's wonderful. I really like that one. There we go. This one first, blue. over the orange. This one was fun too. I love how it picked up that outline of the purple as well that was down before we did the orange. And this one here. And the paper the paint makes the paper feel so smooth. And this was our gold over that espresso. This is the espresso, and there's some of the hookups designed behind it. And then these are the prints. I love how this one turned out. And if you can tell, it's got iridescent paint on it, so got a lot of stuff going on there. And then this one here with the white, I think it just really made this pop. Here's another one. This is another work in progress for sure, but you can see some cool stuff going on there already. And this one, I love how that turned out. Very cool. And this one almost formed a flower here, you see? It's got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals, and then the center. Isn't that funny? This one I love. This was, I believe it was tissue sent to me from somebody in a swap. Maybe, I don't remember, but I love that. I put the black over it from the stencil, right? The leftovers. And it just really made this print, like, exciting. It was a little crazy before, but now it's got that, it focuses in on that cool stuff going on without making your eyeballs crazy. Just did that one. Love that. This one was off the stencil, I believe, or the plate. Yeah, this was, I just pulled it on the Yasutomo sketch paper. Yeah, some of these, like I said, they're works in progress, but, you know, I think the layers I added today have taken them a long way from where they were. Fantastic. Another awesome one. This one too. Love that. This is the one we color mixed. And here's the espresso one over this awesome green print. Super duper. And then the lavender Paperclips, or amethyst as it's called. Fantastic. That was a fun little printing session. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you learned something today. Let me know in the comments, and please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I will see you very soon. Bye.